Got a nice pork butt here. I'm cutting it up into pieces. I'm gonna make pibil, puerco pibil, cochinita pibil. It's got a decent amount of fat. I took a big chunk of it out. You don't need all of it. Some of it does help though. So putting it into little pieces like this, so it'll cook better. More surface area. More surface area means more gets touched by the seasoning, which I have all my seasoning here. So about 1 inch thick strips, and those fit really good on a tortilla. So, but when we cook them, they're gonna soften up even more. So it should be pretty easy to. Ooh, there's a hard part right here. Piece of cartilage. Don't need that. Go through our recipe real quick. I like freshly squeezed orange juice. So a cup of orange juice. Half a cup of lime juice. Cloves. Oh, cinnamon stick. Cinnamon stick. Garlic cloves. I like this, but you can use fresh. I don't care if you don't like it. It doesn't matter to me. You never have too much garlic. That being said, here's one more. Doesn't hurt. Garlic. Tablespoon of oregano. Cumin, teaspoon and a half of cumin, did my wet before my dry. I did my dry before my wet, but oh well. And I'm going to use Hamburger Deluxe. I always do that just because I like it, and it adds a nice flavor. It already smells good, so that's a good sign. So mix this sucker around, make sure everybody gets dipped in, make sure that the seasoning gets covered everywhere. And the most important part, before I forget, I was getting ready to wrap it up. The reason we're doing all of this, achiote paste. Make sure this, because I was like, wait a second, the color's not right. I seriously was just about to put it up. I bet it would taste good just like this. This is seasoned pretty nicely. That orange juice and the lime juice will cook it down a little bit. That'll, because I'm gonna leave this over 24 hours. So about 24 hours, maybe a little bit less, but with the doesn't count if you don't take a picture for Instagram. Even Zoe agrees. Zoe's like, you didn't put that on the gram? So the idea here is to chop this up into small pieces so it'll break up easier, because we're just trying to break this up. And coat all of our delicious pork. So you see how it looks stains. It's kind of like an earthy. It's almost the consistency of like a clay, but it doesn't smell like clay. It has a delicious odor. So make sure everybody's coated, and make sure the achiote paste is dissolved as much as possible. So that way, if I see little chunks, I'm just breaking it with my fingers. That way, everybody gets coated with the deliciousness, and everything, like a lot of this fat is going to break down with the acid and the orange juice and lime juice, and then the rest of the way is going to get broken down in a slow cook. I'm going to cook this. It is 2:14 in the afternoon. Tomorrow, probably around 10 or 11, I'm going to start this up and cook it at 200 for 3 hours or so. Okay, we're all broken up here. Cover this thing. Make sure everybody's nice and covered over. So now we have this delicious, it already smells really good, so that's a good sign. The oven is warmed up. I got some banana leaves. Let me get my pork out and get this thing started. Alright. The pork sat overnight. It's gelatinous a little bit. It feels, it has a nice, really nice odor. It just smells good. Went to, what is it called? We went last night and then bought some dinner there. It was quite good. 99 Ranch Market in Houston. It's all on I-10, about 15-minute drive from my house, so it's not that bad, and they have food there, so I got really nice dinner. Bought a bunch of other stuff that you'll be seeing in videos coming up. So I'm excited about that. I wish it were done in resealable, but I may be able to use all those leaves. Otherwise, I can refreeze them. It should be okay. So you buy them frozen, and I just left it in the top of the fridge, so it'll still stay cold-ish, but I need it to be pliable. It's frozen, and they're more brittle, right? So these are nice big old leaves, real pretty leaves. So these are Vietnamese by this writing, at least that's I guess that's what that is. Oh no, Thailand, sorry. I'm ignorant, sorry. Alright, doesn't count if you don't take pictures of it, right? So, these are long leaves, jeez. They're like about like that. They're about 4.5 feet. If I caught a fish that big, I'd be happy. You know, they have round leaves. They cut them in, they cut little rounds. Maybe I should buy one of those, so that way I can have one on the, but I would only, well, I could just buy them and freeze them, and then have, whenever I need one, I just pop them down, and you know, they're super thin, so they'll just sit on the side of the freezer, and they won't take up much space. Oh, that's how my brain works, folks. Welcome. So it is 9:17 in the morning. By the time I get this stood up, it'll probably be almost 9:30, and that'll give me, so that means this is my lunch / dinner, hopefully. But yeah, you can do this in aluminum foil, because my wife was like, oh, I want to go, but then she got busy, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, you can do this in aluminum foil. But we ended up making time to come, but I should try it in aluminum foil. And I do have green achiote paste. I didn't know they made green. I just bought it by accident, actually. I need to try that at some point. And, you know, I'm roasting pork. It's not like I'm doing a Wagyu steak or something. It's not too terribly expensive, and then you have food afterwards too, right? So I want to have a nice good base layer here. Get my base layer. I want no meat to touch the metal. So now I got this. I'm seeing a clove right on top. I'm gonna go ahead and chunk it. If I see another clove, I'm just gonna take it out. I'm also gonna take out my cinnamon stick. Note to self, buy more cinnamon. Buy more cinnamon sticks. I think I only have one. But yeah, I don't see anything else I can pick out readily. If I see more, I pick them out. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna pour it in like this. Well, you know what? Let's pour some of the juice. Let's make sure it'll be easier just to put them in like this, flat. I just want them to be just completely tamped down. You don't need, just like this, there needs to be part of it. Aluminum foil works because, I mean, you cook everything in aluminum, it's just gonna work. I've not tried it, but I'm pretty sure it works. Which, like I said, I need to try it at one point, but using banana leaves causes top here, a layer of steam, so they'll stay moist, and it's sitting in all of these delicious juices, so it should be okay in that too. Also, I put a top on it. I have my oven. I looked around and I couldn't find a good temperature. I kept seeing anywhere between 250 and 300, and I did not mention it in the video. My videos, I even went back and looked at my videos and I didn't say the temperature because I thought, oh, remember that, and I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. Long story short, I have my oven at 280, and I'm gonna let it in there, keep it in there for at least 3 hours. I'm gonna check it at 3 hours, and if it needs more time, it needs more time, but I think we should get in there pretty okay. This is all wrapped up nice and tight, so it's gonna get nice and steamy and wet. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. All right, there's a light right there, the light I'm using. If you're watching, if you got this far, hi Mom. I'm making the tortillas, I'm almost done. Got 3, 4, 5 more to go. I made a dozen this time. Just, that's the way it worked out. I never go out for a number, it just sort of happens. This is falling apart tender. Smells fabulous. It's nice and hot. Cheers. Yep. Okay. I kept the oven on just in case I needed to let it rest. It needs a little bit of time to rest, I think. Just kind of settle in, so the juices kind of settle in. On a fresh tortilla. Woo. This is one of the best things I make, and I've gone to restaurants around the city, and mine is way better than theirs. They probably don't let it marinate for as long. They probably cook it differently and blah, blah, blah. Low and slow, long marinade. This is great. So this is my lunch, dinner, like my weekend food basically. So cheers.